seen any like crime shows or anything? You know how we kind of do our job. The medical stuff's a little different than the law enforcement stuff. We're just going to swab your cheek, and it's not going to go into the database or anything, but we're going to compare it against stuff that we have, and it will take 2 seconds.
Do I have to do it?
Do they have to talk to you? Is that like a...
No, we just figured this would be a...
cooperative, I just...
No, not at all.
Hey bud, can I talk to you?
She didn't answer, so I pushed the door open, and I seen look like her leg, and then I seen blood, and then I seen her whole, like, look like pillows or all kinds of stuff over her face. And
they told her there was blood on the back fence. They told her, I'm like, oh shit.
yeah, you could tell she'd been raped.
Are you accusing them of murder?
I guess if we can clear things up for them, then sure.
So you're saying that his
DNA is at the scene.
No!
There's no way he's the one who her.
On Sunday, February 2nd, 2025, police in Fairfax, Ohio received a frantic 911 call from a man named Daryl Tenpenny after he walked into his sister's home and discovered a horrifying scene he would never forget. Within just a few hours, the quiet neighborhood was flooded with police cruisers, detectives, and crime scene investigators as the bloody evidence inside the house began revealing a far more disturbing murder case.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
3919, Germania.
3919, what was the street name?
Germania in Fairfax.
Germania?
Yes. I think my sisters might have been murdered and
You know of
Okay,
anybody
thank
that
you.
might want to harm her or anything like that?
absolutely nobody.
Inside the home, officers found Sheila Tenpenny, 64, also known as Denise, lying unresponsive on her bed while the front door of the house had been left unlocked.
Did he cover her up?
I don't know.
The dispatcher said that he found her with a pillow over top of her. I don't know about...
Like peroxide and cleaning chemicals? That's different. A lot of cleaning chemicals.
At the scene, investigators discovered an unfamiliar wristwatch lying next to Denise's body along with blood stains spread across the bed and trailing all the way toward the back door of the house. Beside the victim were a bent kitchen knife and a box cutter, but detectives suspected neither was the actual murder weapon. Meanwhile, Denise's brother, Daryl, the man who first discovered her body, was in severe shock as paramedics placed him into an ambulance to begin taking his statement.
Okay.
I just can't believe it.
I know. So again, we're definitely gonna treat this as most priority important as possible right now.
I sent her a message on her phone. I said, I'm outside. And I went up and put the air pump on the truck, and I walked around, and I opened the door, and I started to knock on the door, like that, and the door opened. She didn't answer, so I pushed the door open.
While crime scene investigators continued processing the house, officers began going door to door throughout the neighborhood searching for witnesses or anyone who may have seen suspicious activity before Denise was killed.
We're with Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation. We're here about what happened last Sunday down the street, and we're trying to talk to everybody in the area.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you, if you ever talked to her or you knew her name.
She was very seclusive. I mean, she always took to herself, worked in her little garden alongside her house.
Yep.
So we are very cordial with her. I think because every time we walk by, she's super nice.
Yeah.
Hi to the kids.
Okay.
The only people I've ever seen over there were her brother, like ever.
Yes.
Okay.
And then anytime we've talked to her, it was always like about gardening, or she's always very super nice, like gardening or like the dog. Her dog passed maybe a few months ago, and she was like really distraught. She told me she was hoping to buy a new dog in the spring. That's all like very like casual conversation. Like one summer she gave us like a tomato plant. Like it's very friendly. Yeah.
Been there a long time, 40 years probably. Yeah, close to it. And her dog just recently died. That's what I was going to ask you about her dog, or if anybody watched her dog for her ever, or not that I know of. No. Now she kept to herself. She didn't have a boyfriend. I didn't know about her dating or anything. Yeah. She'd been on dates a long time ago, but it's been, sure, just kept to herself, and I just didn't believe something like this happened.
Denise was a woman who lived alone and had spent most of her life focused almost entirely on her accounting career. No one ever imagined her life would end in such a brutal way inside her own home.
Yeah, so I mean, we didn't see anything. And we looked on our Ring camera, because we have a Ring camera here, and in the back. And like, we didn't see like anything that...
Does the camera capture like the street here?
It does, yeah.
None of the neighbors reported seeing or hearing anything unusual the night of the murder. According to Denise's family, the most confusing part was that she was extremely cautious and almost never left doors unlocked or allowed strangers into her home.
Did she always lock the door?
Even if she knew you were coming, her door would be locked.
She would only have the screen door locked as well, or whatever that's called. Does that watch look familiar?
But she usually, when she wore a regular watch, it was the, they had the links in it. It wasn't the links in the band.
It's like a metal. Oh, like the metal chain one? Yes. I know what you mean.
I never saw her wear a watch like that.
To me, it sounds like, just from watching like cop shows and stuff over the years. To me, it sounds like a targeted attack. It was somebody that she knew. Not that I would know who it is, but because normally when you see something like that, and I don't know if there was anything stolen or not, but everything it seems like everything was there. You guys found her laptop, her phone, her tablet, and that was said when we were here. Mm-hmm. So those are the types of things that somebody was robbing. Easy to grab, easy to get out. And that's why I think it's somebody she knew.
According to investigators, if the killer truly knew Denise personally, then the person who might know the most at that moment was her brother, Daryl Tenpenny. Just one day before the murder, the two had gone out to lunch together before Denise drove him home. That would also become the last time Daryl ever saw his sister alive.
She'll send me a message and she'll have lunch. Want to know if I want to go to lunch. And I usually say yes. And I didn't get that today. And if you look, I sent her a message a little after 11. I said, "Are you skipping?"
Yes, I see.
And I didn't get a response, which is a little odd. Then I tried calling her and I didn't get a response. And I thought maybe she forgot her phone. I hope she didn't fall or anything like that. And I need to go to her house and see what's going on. But when I seen her car there, I knew she didn't go anywhere, because I thought, well, maybe she took off and went shopping and found her phone. She's done that before. Mm-hmm. And that's why she's not answering. I went to knock on it like that. Mm-hmm. I always do that.
The front door?
Yeah, the front door. And as I did it, the door went open.
It just opened?
It just opened. And I'm like, that not good. Hopefully she's like working on something and busy working or whatever. Then when I looked in, I seen her legs on the bed, no movement. She's not saying anything. And when I looked, it looked like somebody had ripped her pajamas open and covered her face up with stuff and smothered her, probably would be my guess. Mm-hmm. You could tell she'd been
At this point, detectives began digging deeper into Denise's personal life to determine whether she knew, or had recently had conflicts with, anyone who might have wanted to hurt her.
Okay, has she talked to you about any boyfriends?
No.
She does not have a boyfriend?
She doesn't have a boyfriend.
Has she had one recently?
No.
Like when you say no, never? Or
not in a long time, in years.
Okay.
And one reason was you have to understand her type of thinking. They found cyst on her kidney.
Okay.
And she thought she might be polycystic. They didn't say she was, but so she decided she wasn't going to have any children because she didn't want to pass that on to the children.
Okay.
This is the type of person she is. So she wasn't really dating anymore. She quit dating and going out dancing and stuff like that many years ago. And I told her, I said, there's a lot of guys out there who don't want children. I said, but, I wasn't going to argue with her about it.
She doesn't have an ex-husband?
No.
Okay, no children?
No children.
Okay. Hasn't dated in years, you say?
In years, yeah.
Has she complained about anybody?
No.
According to family members, Denise lived a very private life and appeared to have no known enemies. She had been single for years, did not drink or use drugs, and spent most of her time working as an accountant, gardening, and exercising at a local gym. Meanwhile, forensic investigators discovered unknown DNA underneath Denise's fingernails, indicating she had fought back violently before dying and likely scratched her attacker during the struggle. Detectives immediately believed the killer probably had visible scratches on the face or neck. Because the scene also showed signs of sexual assault, police quickly began checking registered sex offenders living within a half-mile radius of Denise's home. Investigators identified 3 potential individuals of interest, but 2 had strong alibis and showed no suspicious injuries. The third had disappeared before the murder occurred. In the end, none of them turned out to be the killer, while fear and panic began spreading throughout the neighborhood.
Does she drink alcohol?
No. No alcohol, no drugs.
She spent her time gardening and working out at a local gym, keeping herself fit and healthy.
So is there anybody you know that would want to hurt her?
No, absolutely not. She's a decent person, honest.
Stays to herself.
As detectives continued canvassing the neighborhood, on February 11th they arrived at a home located at 3920 Germania Street, directly across from Denise's house, to speak with a neighboring family believed to have been fairly close to the victim.
Neighbor Jonathan Boschert and his family have been living in Fairfax for 3 years and say a big reason they moved to the village is because of its safe reputation.
It's jarring, I would say. Very unusual. I mean, it's still hard to believe that it happened this close.
Boschert just hopes it's an isolated incident.
So my son went to spend the afternoon with his dad because he had fallen earlier that day. And anyway, just kind of recover and have some time away from the house and stuff and from his brother. And then I noticed kind of the stuff happening around us, and so I was like, let's get him out of here. Hi. Hello. Oh, cool. Oh,
how are you?
Good. Sorry, my kids are inside, and I have not spoken to them about what happened.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes, totally understand. We're with Ohio DCI. I don't know if you talked to anybody yet or know who you are.
Yes.
Okay.
How well did you know?
Pretty well. Just like, she would come out whenever she was not working, or if it was like the weekend, and really friendly, always saying hi. And she's really close with them. She's really close with everybody over there. So they're only like 13.
Okay.
Both of them are 13. Oh, you got twins.
They're actually going to be 14 next month.
Oh.
And were they home with you that night?
So I don't know when it actually happened. I know that we saw like the trucks or cars or whatever on Sunday. So and actually Sunday morning at like 6 a.m. We had to run to the ER because my son, the cat, I guess, was sleeping on his face, and they startled each other in the dark.
Oh man!
And it scratched him, and so we were worried that it could be bad or infected.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
It wasn't a big deal, but it was just like traumatizing, and I was like, everybody get in the car.
What are their names?
Hunter and Levi.
And
Levi's going by Lewis though right now.
Lewis. And which one?
Lewis.
Lewis. And how is Hunter with Lewis?
Honestly, he's
Are they close?
Big protective of him.
Yeah.
They're really close.
Well, you know what would be? We would be more than happy, and it'd probably be a good thing if we just talked to them and see maybe they heard something or saw something, and we might be able to answer some of their questions for them.
Maybe. I just have not told them that.
Well, they obviously know something happened.
And we don't have to tell them specifically.
We're not gonna, yeah.
Something
we both have kids, and we both know.
Okay. So I feel like the M word is scary.
It can be.
We don't even use the M word. We use the H word. So,
Yeah.
So it sounds a little fancier, but still, we're not going to give them any details like that, especially if you don't want us to.
Do they have to talk to you? Is that like a...
No, we just figured this would be a...
cooperative.
No, not at all.
The woman living in the house was named Becca. According to her, Denise had been friendly with her 2 sons, Levi Cart and Hunter Cart, both just 13 years old. Although Becca initially appeared hesitant and did not want her children connected to the case, she eventually allowed investigators inside to speak with the boys.
Hi.
Oh. Now you are Hunter.
Do you want to come sit down?
Yeah.
So it's a little less.
A little less weird. It's all right.
I don't really remember what happened.
You were already at the
The night
hospital then.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got there at 6, or we left here at 6:30, and it's like 10
6:30.
minutes.
I might have
And you don't remember seeing anything when you guys left that early?
No.
Weren't concerned about that, were you?
No. I mean, I think I don't usually
hear or see anything on the work.
How bad was he hurt? Is he okay?
Okay.
He's okay. I'll have him come out.
Hey, Louis.
Pretty quick.
Hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
Oh, you're coming out now?
What's he editing?
I was editing Dexter. Sometimes I edit.
Yeah.
But
He likes to make videos for TikTok.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
While it's still here, right?
Yeah.
Is that the cat that got you there on the nose?
I don't know. I don't know what
Oh,
happened.
Cassie?
We just
Oh, that,
we
man, that's pretty
we both
good.
startled each other because my bed was right there. I tried to clean myself up, not realizing how bad this was, and I fell in the shower, which is even worse. So I fell and hit my face, and I started crying, and she heard me crying, and then we went to the emergency room because she was like, "This is really bad."
So you guys have never been in the house?
No.
No.
Strange request. We're asking for DNA from people.
Sure.
It's used for elimination purposes only, so it's not entered into like fancy database or
They've already had like DNA testing for their for like medical for
Yeah, this
Okay.
is just a Q-tip
Yeah, this-
in the mouth real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm not. They're already in a database somewhere.
Okay. Perfect.
Is that today or is
We
that
can do
another?
that
Yeah,
right
we
now.
could do it right now.
While Hunter appeared cooperative, Levi became noticeably guarded and uncomfortable when detectives requested a DNA sample. His defensive behavior and unusual reaction immediately drew investigators' attention.
So you guys have never been in the house?
No.
No.
Strange request. We're asking for DNA from people.
Sure.
It's used for elimination purposes only, so it's not entered into like fancy database or
They've already had like DNA testing for their for like medical for
Yeah, this
Okay.
is just a Q-tip
Yeah, this-
in the mouth real quick.
yeah.
So I'm not. They're already in a database somewhere.
Okay. Perfect.
Is that
so-
today or is
We
that
can do
another?
it
Yeah,
right
we
now.
could do it right now.
Yeah, I just feel like I've been to enough doctors recently. I don't want to.
So have you seen any like crime shows or anything? You know how we kind of do our job.
A
The
little
medical
bit.
stuff's a little different than the law enforcement stuff. But I don't know if she explained to you, but we're just going to swab your cheek, and it's not going to go into the database or anything. But we're going to compare it against stuff that we have. That makes sense. And it will take 2 seconds. It's just a
Do I have to
inside
do
the
it?
cheek. You don't have to do anything.
Me and my brother, especially my brother, know a lot. I would say definitely my brother knows a lot about just the police in general.
He wants to go into the Marines when he gets older.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
After leaving the house and telling the family they would reach out again if anything suspicious came up, investigators waited for the DNA test results from the samples they had just collected. But by the very next day, the results completely changed the direction of the investigation.
Do you need to come in? What's going on?
Yeah, that'd be great. We have a couple things to talk about.
Okay.
Hi guys.
We just sat down to eat.
What you guys get?
All right, so we need to talk to essentially each of you, and we're wondering if we can go down to the police department. Just we have a better area to talk.
Do we need to be getting lawyers or something? I'm feeling nervous about this. I don't.
You're welcome to call an attorney.
Also, like, do we have to go? Is this like a right now thing, or is this
We would like you to.
Yes.
It would make, you don't have to do anything, I suppose. But.
Right. Okay. I don't know. I feel uncomfortable. I'm not.
We could. How about we get there? We can explain kind of what's going on, give you some more info. You can always,
Okay. Well, do you want
have
to
us
explain
explain
what's
some
going
more.
on before we head out there? And
Do you mind if we do that outside?
sure.
Sure.
Are we under suspicion for
No,
something? Or
no, we just want to talk to you. I think you guys can help us clear a lot of things up around here. So,
okay.
all right, let's go.
We have a warrant. We don't want to do this in front of the neighbors and all that stuff. That's why we were
Well,
hoping.
I really wish somebody would have contacted me, and I was not shown a warrant inside the house. You
No.
told me that you were bringing me down for questioning.
We would like to go back to the
We were, yeah, we
That
were
is
hoping.
not what you said to me.
We are aware of that, and we are trying to not do it in front of the neighbors here.
Well, you're
So-
already doing it in front of the
Well,
neighbors.
I understand that.
They are or anywhere. And I don't care what they think, because I know we have done nothing wrong.
Detectives brought all 3 members of the Cart family back to the police station and separated them into different interview rooms for questioning. At the same time, investigators still tried maintaining a calm atmosphere, even allowing the family to bring food inside with them.
Yeah, just take yours, and then we'll take your mom's out so she can eat too.
You got enough napkins and everything, or do you need napkins?
No, yeah, I need some napkins.
I've got to grab some for you here in a second.
I don't want food. I want to
Go ahead.
get us our lawyer and have my children stop being questioned without a lawyer present immediately. And it's unacceptable, and they're 13 and they're scared, and I know this is a serious matter. We're all feeling awful about the street and scared, but no, they're not, they're little kids. This isn't okay.
While Becca became increasingly panicked as she realized the case was far more serious than detectives had originally implied, both Hunter, and especially Levi, remained strangely calm inside the interrogation rooms.
Just so you know, I don't feel pressured doing this.
Okay.
You don't? Of course I feel a little pressured, but I don't feel like I have to sign those.
Okay, that's
I just
good.
know it's more suspicion is put on me if I don't answer any questions. So.
Yeah, we're here to talk, ask questions, get your story.
Well, I guess it states that I can quit having a conversation with you. I'm not sure what this is like necessarily about.
No, I will explain that.
Okay. Yeah, you said that, and you said that we could help you guys like understand what's going on, or like something like that. So I'm not sure.
Do you know what we're investigating?
I mean, I know something happened down the street.
Across the street?
Or across the street,
Right.
in front of me.
Right. A woman was murdered, right? So we're trying to find out what happened. So you're moving out of state to California?
Yeah, so the plan is to move to California. I think it's Long Beach.
Long Beach? Cool. Is your mom and dad divorced?
Yes.
Okay.
During questioning, both Levi and Hunter claimed that on the afternoon of February 1st, they had spent time with their father before returning home, eating dinner, and watching movies with their mother during what they described as a completely normal evening.
Yeah, so we ate, and then Mom got home, and he left after a minute of talking.
And they don't get along, or what?
No, they get along.
Okay, that's cool.
That's why we have a lot of like communication between me and him and my brother. So after that, he left, and then me and my mom and my brother just kind of hung out for a minute. I don't know.
Is this in the evening now?
Yes,
Right.
in the evening.
Right.
And then I think, I don't know, like, kind of the day after that, it's kind of like jingled in my head because it was a lot of waking up really early. But I don't know, I think at like 2:30 maybe.
In the morning?
Yeah, 2:30 in the morning or 2, I'm not sure, in that time area. My cat had randomly woke me up with all the lights off, like sitting on my neck. He started scratching my face, and first he started scratching like my arms, because I was like trying to like get him off of me, because I didn't know what was going on. So he like scratched my face. Couldn't really see it. You can't see it anymore, but yeah, he like scratched my face. You can see this here.
The scratches on Levi's face and hands may have actually come from a cat, but investigators also believe they could have been caused during a violent struggle with another person shortly before the murder.
Did you ever see the scratches on his face?
Yeah.
Can you describe like kind of what you saw?
So when I woke up in the morning, the scratches I saw on his face, he had 2 scratches right here somewhere, like, or on this cheek or on this cheek, and then he had stitches in his nose, and then he had seems even more suspicious because he had extra, like, red scratch marks on his face.
Are you accusing them of murder?
I am not.
Is that why they're being detained? Because they're under suspicion for murder?
They're questioning to find out if they know any additional details.
How would they know anything?
Outside the interrogation room, Becca became increasingly anxious as she repeatedly asked detectives whether her sons were being treated as suspects. Not long afterward, the boy's father also arrived at the police station. However, both parents were informed that they could not directly interfere with the ongoing interrogations.
So there's no.
So now they're not talking
There's
to
no
me
way
at all.
for a legal guardian to go into that room and tell them to not answer any further questions without a lawyer.
That's my understanding.
They're 13 years old.
Because I just.
And then I just spent like, I don't know, like 3 hours maybe, or a long time trying to like fix myself up. Again, to give more context, fixing myself up, the reason why I didn't like help or ask my mom or my brother or wake them up is because we were literally just about to do photos that day.
Like family photos?
For the house.
Oh, for the house.
Yeah.
I see.
Levi claimed that after being scratched by the cat, he went into the bathroom to clean his wounds but then slipped and fell, making the injuries worse. According to the story, his crying woke up Becca, who immediately drove him to the hospital around 7 a.m. Hospital surveillance footage showed Becca helping Levi walk before eventually finding him a wheelchair. After doctors stitched the wound on his nose and treated the scratches, the two left the hospital at approximately 7:28 a.m.
And then we get in, and like 15 minutes later, Mom starts seeing a bunch of sirens outside, and she opens the window and she's like, "Oh my God, something happened to Denise." And me, already in a panicked, weird state, because I am having to, be like, Marshmallow did this, and he's right in front of me, and still crying because I feel like I ruined, doing photos so we could get out of here, get out of the state, go to California. So I kept on crying, and then I kind of started feeling emotionally triggered, and when she said there was a bunch of ambulances outside, I started to freak out even more. So, I kind of felt really sick to my stomach, and I felt really gross to have to think about, if something had happened to somebody right next to me, or the house right in front of me, and it made me feel really sad, and I started crying even worse.
After returning from the hospital, Levi was taken to stay at his father's house to keep him away from the chaos spreading throughout the neighborhood. But as time passed, even Hunter began questioning whether the story about the cat attack was actually true.
I don't think my brother would be able to do anything about that. But because that day he got scratches on his face, because of that day he had to go to the hospital, and then he decided to go to Dad's house, so then he wasn't in the neighborhood. It all seems like a very wide coincidence, because of course his cat was his face was scratched by a cat.
Do you remember that night, if you remember your brother getting up and going to the bathroom or going outside at all?
No, I was asleep the entire time.
Let me ask you this, on that day you cut your nose, on that Sunday morning, were you ever out in when you got hurt, were you ever outside? Did you ever walk outside?
Mm-hmm.
Never were outside?
I was outside when we went to get in the car.
No, I'm talking when you cut your nose, were you ever out? I mean, if a camera picked you up, that wouldn't have been you if you were outside?
Mm-hmm. No, I wasn't outside.
Not one time?
Nope.
Well, I imagined, what if Lewis made up the story of the cat scratching his face, and then what actually happened was he snuck out at night and did that horrible thing. But that was just I didn't actually believe that that's something you could do. Like after I imagined that, I was like, no.
Although the family still desperately wanted to believe Levi could never commit something so horrific, the evidence detectives were gathering was beginning to tear apart every explanation they had relied on up to that point.
They also want to know if you guys have ever seen this watch. Does this look familiar to you guys?
Yeah, that's Lewis's watch.
Lewis's watch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Thank you.
You recognize that?
That's Lewis's phone. That's Lewis's watch.
Lewis's watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Special Agent Ward with Beast Bureau Criminal Investigation. You see two of my colleagues here, my other colleague, and we've been asked by the city of the village of Fairfax to investigate this case of Denise Tenpenny's murder. Okay. Now, there's some certain things we're going to tell you that we have that are bad. Okay. All right. That watch that we showed you was under her body.
What?
What? Yes.
No. So you're saying that his what are you saying about the swabs?
Whose DNA is at the scene?
No. No.
Do you think sometimes people do something that they regret out of character for themselves? They do something, they get kind of scared, and they don't want to talk or tell anybody about it?
I think sometimes.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. I mean,
like if you're cheating on somebody like that, you're gonna regret that, right?
Yeah. So do you think somebody can do something and get nervous and maybe do something they weren't intending to do and things get out of hand and something bad happen? Do you think that could happen?
I mean, I think everybody, is human, so...
Right, exactly.
I think that could happen.
You think that could happen? Okay. So, you said you've never been in Denise's house, never been... Okay. Do you know what DNA is? You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Okay. So, we're trying to figure out, and I want you to help me explain this, okay, why your blood would be in Denise's house. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Well, I'm not sure. Because, I don't know, how is it my blood?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Because I don't know why it would be in my house. I mean, in her house.
I don't think you're telling me all the truth.
What? But I'm not lying.
Well, I think you're about how you got hurt.
What?
I think you're lying about how you got hurt. That's my opinion.
But why would I do that?
After creating a relatively calm and comfortable atmosphere with Levi, investigators gradually shifted tactics during the interrogation, attempting to make the 13-year-old believe that admitting the truth might be the only way to explain what had really happened.
So, if you were, and things got out of hand and you had to defend yourself, well, you were attacked. Hence the scratches and the nose and the scratches on the arms. Obviously, you were attacked in some way. That would make sense to me.
My brother's loves true crime or something. Very investigative.
Right, that's cool.
He tried to search up the audio. I didn't hear it, or I guess they said that there was a 911 call, I guess.
Yeah.
And mom had said that maybe she had been raped, or that or somebody said that it looked like she was raped. Which, in my mind, that doesn't sound like self-defense if it was.
I don't believe that there was a rape.
Oh, you don't?
I don't, no.
I kind of thought it was, if I'm being honest, but...
But I guess my question to you is, could you have defended yourself? I mean, is that...
Like I said before, anything's possible.
I understand that, but now we're talking in vague terms, So I need specifics.
I don't know, I doubt that that's a possibility, that I would be defending myself. because I wouldn't be in that house in the first place.
Throughout the interrogation, Levi continued giving calm, logical explanations that investigators found disturbingly convincing for someone only 13 years old. Meanwhile, in the neighboring interview room, Hunter insisted he could not believe Levi was capable of committing such a horrifying murder, but he also began revealing deeply shocking information.
There's no way, even if he did kill her, there's no way he's the one who killed her.
Okay.
He's not that type of person.
Okay.
Basically, my father was really, really abusive. Not like, but like, really mentally abusive and very, very, very physically abusive to my mom. They are divorced now, and we are trying to get past it, but he went through a lot of trauma as a kid too, and Lewis has talked to me, and Lewis knows a lot about all the different things, like, it's a wide range of things. I don't know what to call it, but like, our dad's basically a narcissist, but he's working on it. Basically, we all have, or at least Lewis and Dad have, personally I think mostly Dad. Lewis is just the one who always says that, he's always saying that he's this thing when he hasn't been diagnosed with anything like it. Like saying he's probably slightly manipulative, stuff like that, just because his trauma has made him feel this type of way. You know, he said he feels like hurting people sometimes, like he feels empty, and he feels violent. He's never acted on any of that. I love my brother. I don't know how I feel about him if he ended up being that type of person, and I know it seems I'm definitely for sure incriminating him by telling you guys all these things.
For Hunter, this was the moment he began realizing the brother he had always trusted might not actually be the person he believed he knew. That same fear quickly spread to Levi's parents as more and more evidence continued pointing directly toward him.
I'm really sorry for being rude earlier. I really thought...
You were a mom. You were a mom.
I would not have been able to handle this 4 years ago.
I'm sorry, I was just quiet. I didn't know what to say in the time. And
no, you don't need to apologize.
No, you are a mom.
This isn't what I thought was happening.
And every single one of us would have done the same thing.
While the family slowly began falling apart under the weight of what was happening, Levi continued denying every accusation against him.
I don't know, I just mean I don't see how I would do that, and I don't see why I would do that. That's all I mean.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. Why you would do it.
Even though Levi still refused to confess, investigators believed the DNA evidence along with the scratches across his face already told a much bigger story. After searching Levi's phone and personal accounts, detectives discovered that since October 2024, he had repeatedly messaged an unknown TikTok account about The Creep Tapes, a horror found footage series centered around murders and serial killers. In one conversation, Levi wrote, "I have a huge lack of empathy for other people because of my childhood." To investigators, that statement almost perfectly matched the disturbing behavior and violent thoughts that Hunter had previously described Levi hiding for years.
I just want to let you guys know that I have no faith that my brother would be able to do something like that. I don't know if you guys know, I don't know if this is like spreading too much information, but our family have gone through some very, very, very traumatic things. Also, you know, knowing that, I also know that having a very traumatic childhood could make somebody be able to do something like that.
The deeper investigators searched through Levi's phone, the more disturbing violent and serial killer related content they uncovered. In TikTok conversations, Levi admitted he had researched personality disorders after learning that animal torture was considered a common warning sign, something he claimed he had personally done multiple times before. Not long afterward, Levi sent another message saying, "I've killed animals myself with a knife before." His search history also alarmed detectives. Just days before the murder, Levi repeatedly searched topics such as what causes someone to become sadistic, knife fighting classes, and even looked up the Fairfax County Police Department on the morning of the killing itself. 6 days later, he searched, what was Ted Bundy diagnosed with? Inside his photo library, investigators found numerous images and posts connected to serial killers and violent fictional characters including Patrick Bateman, Dexter Morgan, and Anton Chigurh, along with multiple photos of Levi wrapping his own hands around his neck.
My brother posts a lot of edits of just like fictional characters, and I know it may seem suspicious. I don't know. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. Like, you just post edits of Dexter, the house that Jack built, all the wide range of media that's serial killers.
On February 11th, Levi sent a message to an anonymous account saying, "I'm probably going to get caught," before quickly deleting it. Inside his personal journal, detectives also discovered the chilling line, "I will kill her and kill you too." According to investigators, during the early morning hours of the murder, Levi secretly entered Denise Tenpenny's house and was likely let inside by the victim herself because she recognized him as the teenage neighbor living across the street. Once inside, detectives believe Levi brutally attacked Denise with multiple blows before sexually assaulting her and ultimately causing her to suffocate. Afterward, he allegedly attempted to clean the crime scene using chemicals but still left behind DNA evidence before returning home and crying to his mother as if nothing had happened. For investigators, the evidence showed Levi was not only obsessed with fictional killers like Patrick Bateman and real-life murderers such as Ted Bundy, but had also begun trying to build a violent identity around himself, fueled further by encouragement from anonymous people online.
The teenager accused of killing a 64-year-old Fairfax woman in February has pleaded guilty to several charges including aggravated murder.
I do feel sorry for you. Sorry that you had a family that did not teach you right from wrong.
My sister didn't have children of her own, but she was like a second mother to her nieces and nephews. They adored her, and now they're growing up without her laughter, her guidance, her love. You didn't just take one life, you destroyed an entire family.
After the investigation concluded, Levi Cart ultimately pleaded guilty to multiple serious charges including aggravated murder, sexual assault, burglary, and several other related offenses connected to the killing of Denise Tenpenny. During sentencing, Denise's family confronted Levi directly in court and described how losing Denise did not just take away one life, it completely destroyed their family. Because Levi was only 13 years old at the time of the murder, he will remain in the custody of the Department of Youth Services until he turns 21, the maximum age allowed under the juvenile system. During that time, he has been ordered to complete school programs, attend victim awareness classes, and undergo cognitive behavioral therapy. But the most disturbing question still remains unanswered. When Levi eventually becomes an adult, will he truly change, or will he become something even more dangerous? What do you think about this case? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to follow the channel for more real body cam and true crime investigations.
She's in the ground. So there's...
Who is it?
My mom!
And Miss Gaffney, what happened next?
There was a very large or a very loud sort of thud sound, like a pounding or a thud, accompanied by a pretty loud scream. We called the number back.
Brenda's number?
Brenda's number that she left, and we called twice. The phone was answered.
Okay.
On the third try to the number, and Dean Fraser said something along the lines of, "Brenda, is that you? Are you there?" And the voice on the other end said, "Yes, this is Brenda."
Okay. Was that Brenda Powell?
It was not Brenda.
Who did you recognize that voice?
I was sure it was Sydney. Both Dean Fraser and I looked at each other and sort of shook our heads at each other and said, that's not Brenda. And he then said, I don't, Sydney, I think this is you. This is not Brenda.
And what happened next?
The phone went dead.
On March 3, 2020, a phone call between a university staff member and a mother was suddenly interrupted by the sound of a loud crash followed by a horrifying scream coming from inside a home in Ohio. Just minutes later, when police arrived, the woman's 19-year-old daughter, Sydney Powell, appeared in a panicked state and repeatedly claimed someone had broken into the house. But once officers stepped inside, they quickly realized the scene was far more horrifying than anything she was trying to explain.
Engine for the 8, in front of 50 Cotter. Fire.
I can hear her screaming in there. Front door's locked. Akron Police! Akron Police!
Sydney Powell, 19, appeared visibly hysterical, crying and repeatedly telling officers that someone had forced their way into the home.
Wait, she's on the ground. So there's.
Who is it?
My mom! There's someone broke in the back window.
All right, hold on.
And she's on the ground. And there's
Hold on. Where's your mom? Okay, stay right here.
No, there's so much blood. No, please!
Man!
She's in the corner now! No!
Stop! Hold on, we gotta figure out what's going on! Can you sit down? Car 9, get that 32 rolling here quick. We got a female down, blood all over the place. Start some more units, we got a crime scene. Take her outside. Come on. Come on.
Is she gonna be okay?
Come on. Come on. Yeah. You just need to cooperate with me, alright?
You got?
No, there's blood all over. I don't even know if she's bleeding.
Alright, I'm grabbing my gloves.
Secure the scene. She looks like a 22. She looks like she's been down for a while. There's blood all over the place. There's a knife by her head and stuff like that, and there's a huge pool of blood. No, I think she just walked in on it. There's a broken window in the back, so if you can just put up some crime scene tape. As soon as AFD gets here, they're going to pronounce her, I'm sure. If you want to check her, I don't think she's breathing.
It looks like she's going to be a 22 with a slash to her throat.
The moment officers entered the house, they found Brenda Powell, Sydney's mother, collapsed in a pool of blood. Investigators quickly discovered Brenda had been stabbed nearly 30 times and suffered multiple severe head injuries caused by a heavy object. Even though she no longer had a pulse, officers still attempted life-saving measures at the scene. Meanwhile, Sydney was escorted outside the house, where she soon had to face her father, a man who still had no idea what had actually happened inside that home.
You just need to cooperate with me, alright?
I want my dad.
Huh?
I want my dad.
What happened? What's going on? What's going on?
We heard a bang. We heard a bang. And she told me to get out. And then I heard screaming. So I came back and she was on the ground.
Okay, you heard a
I ran
bang.
out back. There was a bang. Someone broken.
Okay. What is your name?
Sydney.
Are you cut?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're cut somewhere.
I don't think so.
Yeah, your hand.
No, I was helping her. I grabbed her.
All right, stop. I'll tell you what, can you sit on the ground here real quick? Come on. Come on.
You said the ground.
Yeah, you're fine right there.
No.
You're fine right there.
I grabbed the knife.
This is minor. They might have a more, I don't know, check that victim in there. She's got cuts on her hands. I don't know what they have in there, but there's a female down in there. Yeah.
The man arriving outside the scene was Stephen Powell, Sydney's father. Earlier that day, while at work, he received a call from the university informing him that Sydney had actually stopped attending classes several weeks earlier. After noticing through the Life 360 app that his daughter had unexpectedly returned home, Stephen came back to speak with Sydney before leaving again, planning to wait for his wife to return so they could continue the conversation together. But only a short time later, the next call he received came from police.
I don't know. We just got
dad. I'm the dad.
Okay,
Sydney. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Daddy!
What? What the hell?
Where's my wife?
The window's broken, Dad!
Where?
The back window's broken in!
So you're gonna have to.
Daddy!
There's officers inside there, so.
I don't know! There
Go
was
check
so
the
much
lady in the
blood!
house, okay? She's got minor cuts here, so.
You need to go outside, sir.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Outside. Back to
Somebody
the right.
call
All the
G-
way back to the right.
Somebody call GDs.
Yeah, he's.
Somebody
You already
call
called us. You need to stay outside.
Go ahead.
Please have a seat.
I don't want to see
Okay.
What's your name, ma'am? Sorry, what's your name again? She's got cuts on her hand. Okay. So.
She's got cuts on her hand.
Yeah. Take care of her.
Dave, I think this is. Are you dad?
Yeah, I'm the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
have another one
no.
coming.
Okay.
No, but somebody's got to take. I have another med unit coming. All right.
You got some gloves? I got some.
Right here.
Oh.
At that point, Stephen had absolutely no idea his own daughter was the person responsible for the attack. Meanwhile, Sydney continued trying to portray herself as a traumatized victim, giving vague answers to officers and at times curling up on the ground as if she were in shock.
Does she have any mental? No, issues? no. She was having a little trouble at school at Mount Union, and she came back home to try and work things out. Just today is when I found it. I think she has been going to class for the last couple of weeks.
So she just came home today?
Yeah, today. It's like 11 o'clock.
Sydney.
Oh, what is going on with
Sydney! What's going on?
Just because Mom Union said she wasn't here old, but no, I was going to go home and see why she was home so early.
And did you take your phone with you when you went home?
No.
And why not?
I just left it at work so the 360 app wouldn't show me coming home.
Okay. Did you not want Sydney to be able to see that you were coming home?
I would imagine that was my intent.
Did you stay at home until Brenda got there, or did you leave before she got home?
I left before she got.
Investigators recovered 2 murder weapons lying near Brenda's body, a heavy frying pan and a large knife. The crime scene inside the house was so brutal that even experienced officers at the scene struggled to understand what had happened before they arrived.
Looks like 22. Throat slashed. Yeah. There's a big knife right there. Don't think so. Big old frying pan. There is a knife by her shoulder, just so you know.
Who did this?
We don't know.
He's getting one.
I don't feel a pulse.
I did not feel one either.
While several officers were sent out to canvass the neighborhood for witnesses, investigators inside the home continued uncovering more disturbing evidence. Blood had seeped through and stained the basement wall from the floor above, shattered glass was scattered across tables and floors, and bloody footprints were found throughout the house. At that moment, the only person who could possibly help investigators piece together what happened was Stephen himself.
Not mental issues. She's not happy at school. And she said she seems to have. She said today, like all her friends have their together and she doesn't. So yeah, we were putting 2 and 2 together a while ago. She'd come home on the weekends, out of the blue, and nothing really mattered. So are they thinking she did this?
I don't know what happened. Come on. I wish I did. I pulled up too.
Well,
you want to get out of the rain and sit in the car or here or no?
Do I need to call Brenda's mom?
Probably should. Why don't you just wait and we'll see what's happening.
Well,
let me ask you, is she having a problem with a guy at school or no?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Hey there, can you come up here? They're taking Brenda to General Hospital. I don't know. I'm in the back of a cop car. There's probably 10 cops. Supposedly it looks like a break-in, but I don't know what's going on. But they're taking her to Akron General.
All I can tell you is I know that they're both injured.
How bad is Brenda?
I didn't see Brenda. I don't know.
Well, they were in there a while. There was no rush.
I know that they want to get her to the hospital as quick as possible. So.
Do you think Sydney did this?
I don't know that. I think that with the broken glass, they want to make sure that there's not a suspect of any kind. That's why I asked about a boyfriend. I don't know.
There's not. I mean, I don't
or
know.
a guy
She's-
giving her a hard time.
No. Is that Jeep?
Yeah, it's Jeep.
I have no clue.
Brenda was transported to the hospital but was quickly pronounced dead. Meanwhile, Sydney was also taken for medical evaluation before being arrested later that same night as mounting evidence pointed to her as the killer. According to friends and family members, Sydney and her mother previously shared an extremely close relationship, making the murder even harder to understand.
Tell us about Sydney's relationship with Brenda.
It's almost unbreakable. They really were.
They were unbreakable, really close.
They were really close.
Did Sydney and Brenda argue?
No.
Did they ever have loud screaming matches?
No.
Did any arguments ever did they ever get physical?
No.
Was that a part of who Brenda was or could be?
Not in the least.
Was before March 3rd violence a part of who Sydney was or could be?
No.
Quiet spoken most of the time. We laughed and so forth, but she was a worrier, a little bit of a worrier, and but child worrier type things, like worrying about overrunning a bucket in the barn or something. But other than that, she was always sweet and kind. They also spent a lot of time doing puzzles together, and quiet time that they spent together.
Did you ever see or hear about Sydney and Brenda fighting or arguing or talking disrespectful to each other?
No, never.
According to Stephen, Sydney had a very happy childhood and had never previously shown signs of violence or serious rebellious behavior. That was also confirmed by her roommate, Lauren, who described Sydney and her mother as incredibly close, saying almost nobody had ever witnessed major conflict between them.
So, Lauren, let's talk about this. You're her best friend, and I know this is difficult, but tell us about her relationship with her parents.
Her and her parents had a really good relationship. Like, her mom and her were best friends. Probably, like, they did everything together. Like, one of the reasons she went home was to be with her mom. They were always close. She never said anything bad about her mom. She never ever talked about having an argument with her mom. Like, I can't recall every time she'd be going home, she's like, I can't wait to see my mom. Or when she goes home for weekends, she'd be like, oh, my mom wants me to come home so we can hang out and like watch movies. And she loved being home. And she had a good relationship with her dad too. I know that her and her dad liked to watch like Star Wars together, and he always like cooked food at the house. Like, he liked cooking, and she'd always talk about how good his food was and what they would get each other for Christmas and things about spring break. Like, she loved being home like with her family.
So when she's talking to you about the problem she's having at school, did she mention that she tried talking to her parents at all, or that they were going to have that they were involved in her future plans at all?
Yeah, I know she definitely, especially when she left, she talked to her mom about leaving. They kind of made that decision together to leave Mount. Like, she told them that. She didn't tell them for a while, but I knew when everything kind of built up, she was telling them how she was struggling with school. And then when she left, I know that was a decision between like her and her parents, kind of mutual type.
Even investigators struggled to understand what could have driven Sydney to commit such a brutal attack when her life had appeared completely normal beforehand. Hoping to uncover a motive, detectives continued questioning Lauren about Sydney's relationships and personal life at college.
Did she have any friends that wasn't in your friend circle there, like friends that she had maybe made on her own that you're aware of?
Not really, because usually she was either in the dorm or hanging out with us or sorority girls, but I knew all the sorority girls too, that they were my friends. We had a lot of the same friends.
So her circle of friends pretty much consisted of the sorority girls that you were in and some of the cheerleaders that she met through you?
Yeah.
Had you ever seen her taking any drugs or anything, or any medications for nothing? Nothing at all?
No.
Is there anything that you know of that, did you hear from anybody else that she might have done that? Have you ever heard anything like that?
No, I not.
Did she have any boyfriends or any guy friends that she met at Mount Union or back here?
We hung out with fraternity guys, and like she had the same guy friends I did. She did have a boyfriend from about like December before break until January when she came back. They broke up.
So what made it break up?
He cheated on her on New Year's.
Oh, kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll make you happy.
No, yeah. So yeah, they broke up.
How did she find out that happened?
I had friends at the party that called me and told me, and then I told her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to break the news to her.
Yep.
Had she ever, you mentioned that she had the drinking episode. Any kind of like breakdowns or anything, or you mentioned that she had a hard time finding out what she wanted to do, what she studied, but any like real bad episodes that you can recall, anything like that?
I mean, not bad, like I've seen her cry, but not over like meaning.
According to Lauren, Sydney had always been someone who struggled with anxiety and constantly put pressure on herself, but she had never shown signs of violent or dangerously unstable behavior before. Based on Lauren's demeanor and the way she answered questions, investigators believed she was telling the truth.
So, if you talked about her anxiety, tell me more about that.
I think since high school, Sydney's been dealing with anxiety. Like I said, she doesn't deal with stress well, so she gets in if she's stressed about something, she kind of gets a little worked up over it. She went through a period in high school in her junior year where she just was like almost social anxiety. Like she didn't like to talk to people other than our friend group, or go out to restaurants or stores. Like she wouldn't really talk to cashiers and stuff like that.
So did any of that ever look weird, dark, anything to you?
She never posted anything, so not really, no.
Tell us about Sydney. How did you, when did you first meet, and how long have you known each other?
I've known Sydney for 6 years. We met the first day of summer gym in high school, and then we were best friends ever since. Very close.
And what was Sydney taking?
Well, she started off in exercise science freshman year, her first semester, but then she didn't like the classes, so she switched over to psychology and sociology, but then she didn't really like that, so this year she switched to education, and then she didn't like that either, and that's one of the reasons she left, is because she really couldn't find what she...
Perhaps the answer was that the disappointment and pressure Sydney carried had been silently building inside her for months, until everything finally spiraled completely out of control.
The time you spent together at Mount Union, you said that she really wasn't, couldn't find something that she was interested in?
I think her most interest, was psychology, learning about that stuff, but other than just hanging out with her friends, educational wise, it was kind of hard for her, I think.
So she just wasn't, did it seem like, how did this kind of change affect her? I mean, did it affect her moods at all? Did she seem concerned about it? Or tell us about that.
I think she kept a lot of stuff hidden, because when we were just talking or with our friends, she always seemed happy. She seemed okay, like I said, I couldn't tell until the end where she was kind of just struggling, and she kind of was sad and just Lauren, I don't know what to do. I'm well, you just need to find what makes you happy, and you need to find what you like to do. And I don't know, I think it did make her a little upset because she was confused, because I think she felt like everybody around her kind of had figured out what they wanted to do, and she hadn't. So I think that kind of affected her. And my friends and I were just worried because we didn't even know if she got any books for her classes. We were trying to ask her questions like that, and she's no, I have books and I have stuff for my classes, but I do homework all the time, and I don't think I saw her doing a lot of homework the last couple weeks. So I think this last semester, this January part when she was there, kind of affected her the most.
So how you feeling about it?
I'm okay now. The first couple days where I was kind of sad and just confused and shocked, but like I said, I kind of realized that the only thing I can do is kind of tell you guys what happened and my kind of like what I know about her, and just know that I know Sydney, or knew Sydney, how she was, and that's all I can do is just support her and try to help as much as I can.
According to Sydney's former teachers, Sydney had been an outstanding student throughout high school, earning extremely high grades and showing almost no serious academic problems before college. Because of that, investigators began questioning what had actually happened during her time at university that caused her life to spiral downward so quickly.
What kind of student was she?
She was a good student, so she had a high GPA. She cared about her grades. She did her work. She was conscientious. She was quiet. She was respectful, and had a lot of friends, and was a well-liked student, well-liked person, respected by the faculty.
Was Sydney ever, to your knowledge, in trouble for fighting or arguing?
No, she was not to my knowledge.
Was she ever that kind of kid who was causing trouble, arguing with other students, causing drama, anything like that?
No, never.
However, Sydney's teachers also recalled several moments where she began showing signs of severe anxiety and overwhelming pressure to appear perfect in both academics and daily life.
I didn't have a class, so it must have been when I had a planning period, and I was alone in my room, and the two of them came in, and Sydney was crying, and she was I would say distraught. And I said, what's wrong? And she said that she had a test, or I think it was a presentation for a chemistry class. And she said, I can't see the numbers. And I said, what? What do you mean you can't see the numbers? She's like, I can't see the numbers. I can't present. I can't see what's in front of me. And I said, okay. I said, how can I help you? What do you want me to do? And she was really upset. She was pretty upset about it. So I said, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want to go down and talk to the teacher, or do you want me to? And she asked me to go. So I went down and I talked to her teacher, and I said, I assume she took the test on another day. I wasn't the person in charge of that test.
Okay.
And you've seen other students have nerves when it comes to presenting in front of a class, is that correct?
I have. No one's ever told me they couldn't read the numbers, but certainly I've seen people be panicked, yes.
Once she entered college, Sydney's academic performance rapidly collapsed before she was eventually suspended from school. But Sydney hid everything from her family and friends, even continuing to pretend she was still attending classes normally for weeks until the university finally exposed the truth.
When she first came in, I said, Sydney, there seems to be some confusion. It seems as though you haven't moved out of your residence hall yet, from what I can tell. But you're not enrolled this semester. You're not a student here this semester. And at first she replied to me that, I'm still a student here. And
okay,
I said, well,
did that catch your attention?
It did. And I had double checked before I called to see because I thought maybe she had appealed and I hadn't been notified that an appeal had gone through. So I checked, and there was no schedule for Sydney. And I also checked at that time to make sure that she had received, with the Academic Affairs Office, to make sure she had received the letter and signed for it, in the event that maybe if she didn't get the letter, she didn't know she was suspended, and she had just come back and started going to classes thinking she was, not realizing that she was suspended, on the off chance that could happen. But I was able to verify from the Academic Affairs Office that they had received back from the post office that the letter had been signed.
Even after already being suspended, Sydney continued covering everything up and remained living in the dorms until the university repeatedly issued warnings. Not long after she returned home around 11 a.m., Stephen was finally informed that his daughter had actually stopped attending school weeks earlier.
She's still attending? Well, as far as we knew up until today, yes, but apparently not for the last, maybe couple weeks. Because I tried to get on, this was a couple weeks ago, I tried to get on the website I like to check the balance, and she's been coming home on and off on the weekends a little frequently. So she turned off her like Life 360 app. But I think on that app you can't see where she's going. You can kind of see highlights of where the phone was. Well, you know, I'm kind of looking. I'm like, going, well, you're not where you're supposed to be. This is kind of weird. Nothing seems out of the ordinary until maybe it was today. I tried to get back. Oh, Mount Union calls me today because I sent them an email that says my user ID is this, my ID is this, my password's not working, my recovery answer won't work, and I know where I was born, I know my car, and it doesn't when you type in your recovery email. The system just it didn't recognize it. So I sent Mount Union Billing an email and says basically, what's wrong? So she calls me back today and says, well, the reason you can't get on, long story short, is your daughter's unenrolled. So I went, what's going on? So I text Sydney, I'm like, oh, give me a call. I have a question to ask you. I call her, no answer. I say, give me a call, question to ask. I have a question to ask you. And I look on that little Life 360 app, and her car was at home. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. So I leave my phone at home so she can't track me. And I go home, and there she is. She's at home. Perfectly normal. She's crying because I said, what's going on? Are you not going to school? She goes, I'm overwhelmed in school, and I don't really like what I'm doing, and it seems like it's a waste of my time and your money. I said, well, but that's all part of it. Nobody's going to tell you you need to do what you're doing when you're 20. You need to figure it out. But you have to work through the problem. You can't just ignore the problem and have it go away. And then if you have to take the summer off, take the summer off. Figure out what you want to do. She was supposed to take a summer class because she changed a couple majors. And that's what she goes, all my friends have their together and I don't. I said, well, I'm 54 and I don't have my together. Don't look at it that way. You need to work the problem. You can't just have the problem sit there and ignoring it is not going to do you any good. So I went back, I called my wife from my daughter's phone. She picks up, she was working down at Children's. So I left. On the way home, I either on my way back to work or when I'm at work, I call Brenda and she's like, well, I'm just pulling in now. So I let it go, and then I get a text from Brenda that says, waiting for someone from Student Affairs to call me back. And that was at 12:36. I said, check on the scholarship too, make sure she didn't lose that at 12:37. At 12:39, I got on the bank account and I said, maybe. And then at 12:41, what did you discuss with her? And that was it.
So 12:41 was the last.
12:41 was the last, and I don't know how to tell what time I got his call. And it rings on the cell phone, no answer. I call Sydney back, rings, no answer. I call Brenda back, ring, no answer. I'm pacing around. I call Jeep back, and as I'm on the phone with him, telling him there's no answer, my doctor calls me back and said, "Oh, Mom's on the phone with Mount Union." I said, "Well, cops are on the way," and she went, "There's been a break-in," and she just started going off. She said, "What?" She said, "There's been somebody broke into the house. There's blood everywhere." And I'm like, "Stop!" And then that's when I called. I'm sure there was conversations after that, but I'm not going to remember the detail. She was hysterical and crying. I called Jeep back and said, "Yeah, I don't know what I told you. I don't know if I said it was legit or yeah, it's the cops on the way. There's been a break-in," and I left.
So at first, when you talked to her, she said that your wife was on the phone with Mount Union.
Yes. And as soon as I said cops are on the way, the hysteria.
This was also the moment officers officially informed Stephen that Brenda had not survived.
Well, really bad news. Your wife passed away.
What happened?
We're not sure. It looks like, I don't think someone broke into the house. I don't know if your wife and daughter got into an argument or got physical. I mean, the window was broken, but there's no forced entry into the house. The window's broken, but nobody actually came through that window. And the sliding door was unlocked. So, Did your wife and daughter ever have like really heated arguments?
No. No.
What do you do to help? What do you do?
I don't know what I need. I don't know. I don't know anything. I know nothing. I don't know where to go with Andrew. I don't know where to go to see Brent. I don't know. I have no idea.
He's here.
And he's probably wondering why the hell he's here.
Yeah. I wouldn't know where to begin. I got you.
Thanks. Sit down. Mom, Dad. No. I don't know. Mommy, I don't know what happened yet. Sydney's hurt. I don't know what happened there. It was just you and me. Sydney's not good. I know Sydney's not that. Oh my God, thank you. But I don't know what's going on yet. But they just told me Mom died. Mom. It's just
By this point, investigators had begun piecing together what they believed happened inside the house. According to detectives, everything started after Brenda confronted Sydney about being suspended from college following the confirmation call from the university. While Brenda attempted to contact the school again to uncover the truth, Sydney allegedly snapped and repeatedly struck her mother in the head with a heavy cast-iron skillet. But the attack did not stop there. In an attempt to stage the scene as a fake home invasion, Sydney then slit Brenda's throat and stabbed her nearly 30 times. According to investigators, the most disturbing part was that instead of calling 911, Sydney allegedly began staging the crime scene by smashing glass doors, injuring her own hand in the process, and repeatedly crying as though both of them had just become victims of a violent break-in. During the later investigation, psychiatrists also revealed that Sydney had allegedly been hiding symptoms of schizophrenia leading up to the murder.
Failing was not an option in her mind. In her mind, if she failed, then she was a failure. And I think that is when some of the early manifestations of thought disorder, some of the early auditory hallucinations were manifest. But again, she didn't seek or couldn't seek help because, if you're a successful graduate student athlete at Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's, you don't do that. It was just, it was inconsistent with her picture of herself. I think that things began to, it's kind of like a building wave, and I think the wave really began to get out of control probably in November, December of 2019. And again, I believe that it's very likely that at that point she was already, if she hadn't begun the process even earlier, probably maybe even summer of 19, certainly during the fall of 19, she began to kind of cross the line from normal self-critical thoughts to significantly disordered thoughts, to psychotic thoughts, including highly critical auditory hallucinations. You're worthless, you're a failure, you don't deserve to live.
During trial, the defense argued that Sydney suffered from schizophrenia and completely lost control when she killed her mother. However, prosecutors countered that she was still mentally aware enough to lie to her father, stage a fake crime scene, and mislead police with a false story about a home invasion that never happened. In September 2023, Sydney was convicted of murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence for the 2020 killing. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years, although the case continues to face legal review in Ohio. Then in December 2024, an appellate court overturned Sydney's murder conviction and ordered a new trial after ruling that her defense rights had been violated. As of early 2026, the case is now awaiting review by the Ohio Supreme Court, which is expected to issue a final ruling within the coming months. For many people, this case is not just another family homicide. It has become a disturbing warning about severe mental health struggles that can quietly build for years without being recognized until everything spirals completely out of control. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.